Well, and women, like, I didn't know that men do this as much too until you and I got together, but women are people who try to be fixers.
Yeah.
They try to fix men, and they like, and that's too, I guess, can segue into the losers because they think that they can fix them. Like, they think that they can help them, or like, they'll be like, oh, well, you know, like, why don't you go get a job like this? And they'll be like, I don't really want to, you know? And she's like, well, you know, come on, like I can help you do this. And you know, we can figure it out. So she's like, I feel like when a girl likes a loser, it's almost like she's trying to help him. It's like two sides of the same coin, right? Like two extremes.
Right.
Like here, she's trying to like almost tame this man, the asshole.
Right.
And then here, she's almost trying to like nurture
Mother
him into mother him, like be a mom.
Right.
And so it's still, I feel like both of those things, now that we're talking about it, stem from this like need to fix people, or like want to fix people.
Right.
Or like help them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like it's the motherly,
it's the feminine,
nurturing,
right? The feminine
side of us. Like
it,
we
right?
raise
that's attracted
children
to the masculine, right? And so that's why the assholes and losers who tend to have a raw sense of masculinity tend to attract feminine women who want their counterpart, but it doesn't work out well because it's it's the same thing as like an extremely feminine woman that's unrefined, doesn't have any, you know, you could say dark feminine or dark masculine that just, you know, is full of emotion, but anger and rage, and you know, just doesn't control that in any way, or doesn't have the positive outlet of emotion. So yeah. So okay, well, I mean it makes sense. I think I would agree with what you said. It comes down to that assholes and losers, what they have in common is that they're selfish. And they're just,
and that women,
and that's an attractive trait,
fix them
to
because
be,
it's, I don't know, like, because I guess I've dated both of those people, and just looking back, it's like, it's just been from, like, you care about this person,
right?
And you know that them being one way or the other, that it isn't fully what you want, but there's a part of you that's like, I can fix this person. I can make him into what I want. And women get really stuck in that.
Well, but then if you're like, if I can make him into what I want, then there's the other part. So it's the rare part that you are able to get in that person, right? So when a woman finds an asshole or a loser that she's attracted to, she's picking, you know, dirt up because there's something shiny, there's something more rare in that. Right, which I think is that what you're saying is that masculine element. Because in the sea of men today, so many men are just pussies and just they have no spine or no backbone. They're just completely. You can walk over them, you can push them over. They're completely controlled by their sexual desires. You can have anything from them just by tempting them. Right. So many men fall into that when you see an asshole or a loser type of guy that exhibits these traits, that's the rare thing. And so you're like, well, if I can just fix that other part that's not so rare, like there's plenty of good guys, so why can't I just make him into be a good guy?
Right.
And it's like, but it doesn't work. So
yeah, because I mean, I feel like it is, women are more these days into making a man into what she wants rather than trying to find one, because it's so hard. It's so hard to find the perfect guy that she'd rather take an asshole and try to make him into a gentleman, or take a loser and try to make him into this like successful man, than like search for the person.
Which is
Does
funny,
that make sense?
because it should be the opposite. Because a woman making a man into what she wants, very small chance.
I agree with you.
Right? But men are throwing out perfectly good women saying she's not already what I want.
Right.
Whereas a woman will be influenced by a man. If a woman finds a good man in her life, she will start to change her life and grow and flirt. Not all women, right? I mean, obviously you still have to have a good stock, but what I'm saying is that a man has a much better chance. Men are out here throwing out women. They're like, oh, Western women, they're all feminists and all this stuff, and it's like they're all worthless hoes and all this stuff, right? You hear the language that these guys use, and I'm saying, wait a minute, hold on. Like, you can't just throw out all Western women.
But here's
right?
why women feel like they have to build their man.
Why?
Because, and you've seen this, today, there are really not a lot of good men. And so you have to take what you can get and try to make him in to the man that you want, because look at all the men on social media whining and complaining. Like, is she going to wait around for this guy? Like, no, she's going to like just take this little whiny baby man who I would say is a loser and try to make him into more of a man, because she's like looking at this like, okay, well, he's not taking the initiative to be better and to better himself and be the man that he could be. So, you know, maybe I can motivate him to be that guy if I'm with him and like, you know, making sure he's like going to work on time or applying for a better job. Like, it's not going to make sense to men, but like you just said, though, that's all women can do. Like, or they think that they can do.
Yeah, they think they can do.
Because like, they're seeing all these guys that, I'm not going to lie, are not desirable. Like, all the guys who are whining and complaining on social media and things like that, or even you go on a date and they're whining and complaining to you on the date about...
Shots fired.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. They're whining and complaining to you about something. Yeah. It's like...
No, I agree with you,
She has to be like, okay, well, he's obviously not trying to better himself because he just wants to whine and complain.
Yeah.
So maybe I can get him to this point by like, you know, using my femininity or like my sexuality to get him to be this person. It doesn't work.
Right. No, it doesn't
like,
work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But women have to take their lives into their own hands because they don't trust men anymore to be those men. So they try to take the asshole and rehabilitate him into a nice guy, or like bring out some sort of kindness, not a nice guy, a kind guy, but bring out some sort of kindness in him. Or they try to take the loser guy and help him get like better opportunities to be better in that way.
So here's the question then, right? So, so then why not take the nice guy? He's already a good guy. He's got good personality, right? He will love you to pieces, right? He'll treat you well, right? Why not take that guy and then shape him into what you want? Why do women never choose that option?
Because I feel like what nice guys are missing is what assholes have, like I said in the beginning, right? And it's like, as a woman, for her to teach you to have balls, you're not going to respect her.
Yeah.
That's why.
Like, that's true,
She cannot teach you how to have balls. That's why she'd rather take the guy who has balls and is using them the wrong way. And give him a little kindness, like teach him a little kindness. Or this loser guy, which I mean, like, most of the time they're nice guys too. But maybe they think they're acting this way because they don't have a good job. So maybe if I get them a good job and they feel more confident in themselves, they'll naturally get it. You know what I mean? But with a nice guy, usually they're missing the boundaries and the like standing up for something and like the wanting to protect. And a woman can't teach a man that. Like, she'll protect herself, but she will emasculate you by teaching you those things. And she doesn't want that either. She doesn't want, the second she teaches a man how to have balls, that man's not going to respect her, even if she accomplishes it. And she's not going to be attracted to him because she taught you how to have balls.
So I guess it's almost kind of breaks it down into, there's two components of this. There's what is attractive, right? What causes like a sexual attraction.
Which that's the like masculinity, the like being the man part that an asshole has.
And what's desirable in a person, in a relationship. And it's
which
like,
is, you know, the kindness and the caring and the loving, like, you know, that's like what the romance books, like we talked about. It's like this bristly asshole guy, but really inside he cares, but he still has boundaries. Like, you know, he still is a man.
So I mean, I guess the advice to guys then is to have balls and overall things, right? Like,
and don't allow a woman to teach you how to have balls. To teach yourself how to have balls.
She won't teach you how to have balls. She'll just take your balls, put them in the jar there for safekeeping. For, you know, someday when you need them back.
But don't be an asshole, because like, women are attracted to assholes, but they know they shouldn't be, and they do wake up eventually.
And they. Like, if you're not already an asshole, trying to be an asshole never works. It won't get you the women. It won't do anything. It just makes you look more desperate and more, because now you're changing yourself in order to get something. Whereas the whole point of the asshole is that he's not changing himself. That's why he's attractive, is because this is who I am. Like,
but also, if you are an asshole,
right?
Like,
well, you need to reform
yourself.
Right.
Who you are completely.
Right. You're being who you are, like unapologetically, but the assholeness part of it is not. That's like just not having tact is not who you are, right? You can still be direct, assertive, aggressive. You can have a differing of opinion. You can tell people no. But you can have tact. Right.
Nobody should be blurting out everything that just comes to their mind. Right. Because everybody, like you said, can be an asshole. Right. Like even the kindest of people have probably thoughts that seem assholey at times. Sure. Yeah. But it's just like they don't classify those thoughts as them.
Right. Exactly.
They just classify them as thoughts. So yeah, it's complicated, but I feel like I did a pretty good job at explaining. Better than